Hi. So we're gonna do a little bit of a weird video, and you can tell because I didn't do my normal intro, which I know a lot of you are disappointed by, but also a lot of you are excited by. It's a weird split that I'm seeing around the internet in regards to my intro. But anyways, we're gonna do a little bit of a different video where I'm going to break down how I like to tackle topics, like gaming topics, whatever, right? Because I feel like this year especially, and it's only been 28 days. We've been in January for far too long. But within these 28 days, I have been inundated with people who seem to either intentionally not understand what I'm doing or truly just not get it. And I know I've been a bit extreme in my responses in the comment section, and for that I do apologize. So I promise I will be less extreme, but only if you guys actually listen to what I'm saying in every video going forward. Okay, we can erase the past right now. What's done is done, but going forward, it'd be really awesome, it'd be really sick if you guys would address the points I'm actually making and not sort of headcanoning what you think I'm getting at. Like, for example, in my previous video when I'm talking about the situation around Highguard, I got a lot of comments talking about the game is bad, the game is unfinished, it's this, it's that. And what I was addressing was not the quality of the game, which is why I stated in that video, this isn't about the defense of Highguard, but the conversation around it. Because that's the part that I find interesting. Like, ultimately, a game succeeding and a game failing, those are the only outcomes a game can have, right? And yeah, you can break down why a game fails, why it succeeds. I also like doing that. But I'm more looking at this as the culture surrounding gaming. If you couldn't tell by this point, I kind of talk about gaming from a cultural standpoint, with how politics work in games and all that stuff, right? So with Highguard, there was already people upset about that. And I mentioned that, right? Talking about how after the Game Awards, it being the last game and not the game that people necessarily wanted, it had an uphill battle. People were already putting out videos saying it was bad. There are people on Twitter, on the internet, doctoring photos of the game saying it was ass weeks before the game released, and they did not have any sort of cast that could play it earlier. Dr. Disrespect, faked having an invite, right? And having someone with his record attached to your game also doesn't help. This isn't to say that the game was amazing and got shitted on for no reason. But, and like I'm reiterating this because I said in the video, but it would be disingenuous if we completely ignored the hate campaign that was already heading towards this game. Like, that was my contention right there. Like, people were already wanting this game to fail. I had done a previous video talking about that very same topic. People wanted this game to fail already. And that in itself has been a continuing trend in the gaming space. If you look up Fable 4, I actually did this with a coworker. And I said, go on your phone, type in Fable 4, and see how quickly you get to some bullshit like, it's gonna be a flop, it's gay, it's woke, it's too feminine, it's this, it's that. And within 2 videos, he hit that. He didn't even see the Fable reveal trailer until like 5 or 6 videos down on YouTube. And I said the same thing for Intergalactic. They did the same thing for what's that game called? They did the same thing for Ghost of Yote. Like, I was showing him, like, yes, it's annoying. Every time you look up a game, there's already a campaign against it. Like, already. And then if the game happens to just do exceedingly well, then eventually that gets pushed down by people either reviewing the game, showing their gameplay, giving out tips, right? But prior to the game's release, you are stuck with people just bitching about it. And that, again, is the conversation I have. So when a game, let's take Fable, for example, now. If Fable 4 comes out like, let's say it comes out like 2 weeks, right? You would see an increase in negative videos towards that game from the typical grifters, but also the trickle-down effect, right? Because people want to get in on that because, unfortunately, negativity sells. So when the game comes out and it's not the best game ever, it's going to have an inordinate amount of people frothing at the mouth to shit on the game, I told you it was too woke. It was DEI. It was this. It was that. That's what I was getting at with Highguard. I'm not saying that Highguard is an amazing, fantastic game, but there's also no fucking way it's that terrible where within one day, 18,000 people left a review. There's no way, especially when Code Violet exists. People are treating this game as if it's worse or equal to Code Violet. And that's what I'm trying to get you guys to think about. Yes, games will succeed. Yes, games will fail. Yes, we're going to get more Code Violets this year. And we're also going to probably get games that are like, damn, this is like as good as like Baldur's Gate 3 or whatever your favorite game is. We get that every year. That's not different. What's different is the reaction and anticipation. We have people already before games even released, making videos shitting on the game, not even being skeptical, just straight up shitting on the idea of the game. Ex voto, for the simple fact that people online, or a subgroup of people online who are very vocal minority, don't find the female character attractive, have already started shitting on the game. The game itself is not getting a lot of coverage, so you're not seeing a ton of videos. But even within that scope, like you would expect to see nothing about it. You're seeing people saying, "What is this woke bullshit? This, and that." This is the game that will probably cost like $30, the second AA game, and suddenly people are giving it attention way more than they should. To be honest, why? Because of this cultural war. That's what I'm talking about. You've never heard me talk about a game in terms of its like mechanics if I haven't played it. What you have heard me talk about is the way that people are talking about the game. They're already setting it up for failure. They're pitting it up against like Knight's Path, right? Which did come out and make that statement, which again, in that video, I was talking about the fact that they chose those particular words to use instead of saying no. And I had people saying I didn't do that I was being dishonest when I had visually shown their tweet, the tweet they're responding to, and then how that could be interpreted and a better way to do that. And then suddenly I'm getting told that I hate attractive women, that I am a shill or whatever. I am telling you, these people are using dog whistles, and that is the point I'm attacking. When I did my video and again about Highguard, and I mentioned like Luke Stevens' tweet, I had people in the comment section going, well, you clearly didn't watch his video. I never said I watched his video. In fact, I said that it's strange that someone like you who does do analysis would put out a tweet that says it's not that deep and then do an analysis on that video or in that game. That contradicts the tweet. And people were saying, well, you're limited on Twitter. You could have wrote, I'm working on a video to explain this. That's it. To say it's not that deep, like words have meaning. And suddenly people give the most charitable interpretations of shit that I think is pretty obviously like what they're getting at. But then I don't get any sort of charity when I go out of the way to be like, hey, this is what they said. This is what they did. I think this is what happened, right? Like even that video, I didn't like shit on Luke Stevens. I didn't say he was fucking terrible. I just said it's kind of, I think you owe your audience better than that. That's it. And people are like, oh, well, you didn't watch his stuff. I didn't. But again, I really need you guys to listen to what I say. I know I'm a yapper, but I feel like a lot of the confusion really is coming from the fact that people aren't listening. It's like they see the title and then they're making these like long comments. And I'm like, I literally answered this in the video. So like, that's what this video is about. Okay. Let's start over fresh. When I do videos talking about video games, unless I'm explicitly streaming it or saying this is like a review, which I truly don't really do, know that I'm going to be using something that happens that might seem small as a jumping off point to talk about a larger issue. Like using Highguard to highlight the fact that there are a lot of people that have a vested interest in games failing because it helps their YouTube channels, right? It helps them get engagement. Or like saying that it's not that deep. There's a mentality across our society that resonates with that. And I think that's a bad thing to resonate with. And that's what I was doing. So I went out of my way and said, this is not an attack video. I can very much make attack videos. I think you guys have seen that when I do my debunking on people, like that Wagner knows person, right? I can go a lot harder than that too, but I'm not doing that. So what I need from you guys is to, and I'm being genuine here, truly listen to what I'm saying. Because again, I see a lot of the comments. I respond to them. And I'm just like, how is this the message you're taking away from a video that says like white supremacy is ruining gaming discourse? And then you go, why do you hate white people? When in the video, I even write in the text to supplement that this is not, white supremacy does not equal white people. It's an ideology. Like if I said Nazis are bad and then you're like, why do you hate all Germans? Like that's what's happening. And again, I know I'm doing a rather Sisyphean task, right? Because we are straight up in a point of anti-intellectualism. Like people in our society, we hate people who present as any sort of experts. You know that, right? They hate colleges. They hate people with degrees. That's why Joe Rogan popped off, right? He was a dumb guy like everyone else, just like you and me. He's just a guy who just says shit. Self-proclaimed idiot. And yet millions of people take his word as gospel, which I think is insane. So I'm trying to do my part. I'm trying to combat a lot of just non-critical thinking and takes, but also like give you guys something to chew on. Like I remember I did a video talking about like what's an RPG, and so many people were like, God, he's so fucking stupid. Here's what an RPG is. It's this, this, and this. And I'm like, do you understand how difficult it is to actually pinpoint a genre when you're just saying, oh, it's a role-playing game, you take on the role. Well, what role? If I'm playing NBA 2K and I'm playing as LeBron, am I playing a role-playing game? There's numbers and stats, you can increase stuff there too. And then it says, oh, it's RPG elements. Okay, then what makes it not an RPG then? Is it the story? Like I started using an example, like just to get you guys thinking, like it's not as easy to define these things, which is why a lot of the times people use comparisons. Like it's a Souls-like, it's a Metrovania to give you an idea, because it's mostly vibes feel, just mostly vibes. But like that's the kind of content that I personally like putting out. That's what I mostly talk about. So again, if you ever get like, what the fuck is he talking about? Please watch this video. Consider this a primer onto how I do my content. I like to talk about larger issues through the lens of the gaming culture, right? Because it's a microcosm of what's happening. Like you can literally trace Gamergate to the literal election of Donald Trump. Twice. It's unavoidable, right? You want to see why your RAM prices are going up. That's politics, which I also talk about here. I do this too, and I've already done a video like this, but I don't care. I'll do it again as many times as it takes. I do this ultimately because I'm super annoyed. I'm super annoyed at the quality of conversations and discourse that we've been having lately, where we can't just say we don't like a game, give reasons why. It's if you like a game, you're a shill, right? And if you automatically don't like a game, well, then you're just a hater, right? Which I get, called both somehow. I'm both grifter, which is weird because I don't sell you guys anything. You guys don't have to buy anything. You don't have to pay to talk to me. I don't like beg for donations. I'm not like paywalling anybody, right? But I get called a grifter, I'm like, which exposes to me that I have a lot more work to do. But that's how I'm making this video, okay? This is just like a primer. Like I just need you guys. We can do our part, okay? I'm gonna do my part. I'm gonna be nicer, okay? I'm gonna be nicer. But I really need you guys to just listen to what I'm saying. For the love of God, just listen to what I'm saying. If I'm talking about, hey, this game is getting a lot of undue attention, that isn't me saying you should buy this game. This is gonna be the best game ever. I don't tell you what games to buy. That's not my bag. I don't tell you what games to avoid. Also not my bag. I just talk about games from a very, I guess, broad point of view, but I just talk about games. Talk about, like I talked about Code Violet. I didn't play it. No one got mad at me. Suddenly I talk about Highguard and it's like, well, you didn't watch this video. You didn't do this. I'm like, I said I didn't play the game. I'm not going to. But like, I could still have an opinion on the culture surrounding it. So are we good? Because I'm very tired. I went to the gym earlier and I would like to take a nap now. So if we're good, just leave a comment about something I said in this video so we know that you watched. And like I don't know. All these years doing YouTube, I still don't fucking do call to action. I think call to actions are weird. If you're gonna like the video, just fucking like it. You know what I mean?